So my name's Colin Ford, my wife is Beau. We've got 4 children, Harvey, Louis, Poppy and Freddie, and we own Albany Farm Fresh Eggs, Albany Farm Fresh Foods and Franklin River Free Range Pork as well. I didn't actually know about the green finance before the bank manager said, so it was a very welcome surprise, and it was just 0.5% less. So if you're offered 0.5% less on anything, you'll grab it, and it was just a very easy process to go through. Just with solar powered systems and the type of system that we're running, it qualified for that, and it was just very simple, no difference in the application than any other finance that we've got. It was just sending off quotes to the bank for the system. They paid the supplier direct for it. It was fitted, and then they just needed photographic proof to prove that that's what the money had been spent on. We were talking before about whether parts of our operation, they're regenerative, sustainable, free-range, high-welfare production, whether there'd be other areas of the farm, because we are looking to expand further. And like I say, if someone offers you 0.5% discount on anything that you're buying, it's a no-brainer really for not having to do anything extra. To get that 0.5% off is just a bonus really, and it's good to have that backing, because we all know the direction that we need to be heading in, and if there's that incentive there to encourage you to do that and it's a saving, why wouldn't you do it? And it just fits in with everything that we're wanting to do in terms of our animal production and the welfare of the birds, the solar powered systems. It just all fits in together and just brings it all together into a really good package. So we've got a whole 268 acres here. We've put a lot of infrastructure in for water, so catchment and storage. We've got about 470 sows, and we produce 180 pigs a week, and they're taken through to a bacon weight which is about 73 to 75 kilos dead weight. And then with the chooks, we can house about 34,000, but at any one time there's young pullets which are just coming in to lay, there's older birds which are just going out to lay. So we've usually got around 28 to 30,000 chooks at any one time laying, and they'll be around 80% lay. So we're producing around 23,000 eggs a day. And then we've got the farm shop. And just going back to the pigs, with them, we produce about 23 pigs per sow per year. And we're on a batch farrowing system just for management. We farrow in blocks. Every 3 weeks we farrow a batch, we wean a batch, and then the week after that we lay a batch. So that really eases up management of the pigs as well. We're lucky to be in a joint venture with a butchery company from Bunbury, Ryan's Mates. So they take everything that we produce, and then we've got this brand Franklin River Free Range Pork. And then off the back of that, there was a connection with a guy in Perth who was fed up of getting complaints about supplying restaurants with poor quality eggs, and he was finding it quite frustrating. So he approached us to start supplying him with eggs. So we started off a pallet a week, which is 540 dozen eggs, and now we're up to around 17 pallets a week, and he's demanding more and more eggs moving forward. So he's taking about 2/3 of our production now. So one thing's just led to another, and another opportunity comes up, and we seem silly enough to grasp it and run with it, and we've just got more and more demand for our pork and the eggs, and the shop's getting busier as well. The whole pig industry was really proactive in what is and isn't free range, and the whole system is based around the pig rather than the pig around the system. And the production, it's not easy. Outdoor pigs is probably one of the hardest things you can do, and if you don't do it right, you can actually get a worse welfare outcome for the pig and very expensive production. So what we actually managed to do with our routines and stockmanship, which is a key part of it, is get really good production, because at the end of the day, some people don't want to pay too much more for free range pork than they can intensive pork. So we get really good production, we get good growth rates, and it's all based around low stress, low stocking rate, the rotation. So then we've taken that free range pig production system and we've designed this unique egg production system based around the same principles of low stocking rate, low stress, rotation. So the sheds actually move in between each batch of birds. So we get the birds in at 16 weeks of age and then we move them on at about 76 weeks. When that shed's emptied of birds, we wash it down, disinfect it, and then the whole shed is moved onto fresh ground. So when the next batch of birds start free ranging, not only do they go into a clean shelter, but the ground that they roam on is clean as well. It gets a 3-year break in between each batch of birds. So just over time, and the UV rays from the sun just kills any pathogens. We crop the ground to remove any nutrients as well, so it's just a much more environmentally sensitive system. And then the integrity of the product is maintained because we've got a clean environment for the birds. We're not having to use antibiotics or pesticides to counter diseases that can happen when you've got too dense a stocking and no rotation. We find we get much better production, higher laying percentage, lower mortality, and a better quality product. So we've been able to access a premium market in Perth through the quality and consistent production of the eggs as well. We designed our first chicken shed just over 4 years ago. It was quite a novel design, and since the first one we've gone through 2 different designs, but we've hit on the final design which just ticks all the boxes in terms of hen welfare, levels of production, quality of the eggs and all that. So the last stage we've completed over the last 8 months, which was another 5 sheds, which gave us another 10,000 birds. But the sheds need to be powered at night for the nest boxes, lighting, doors, feed auger, egg collection belt and all that. So we needed a local or a power source that was nearby. So we've mounted a solar powered system on a sea container, and we've got 2 of those units now, and the last one that we put in was under the green finance through CBA, and that actually powers 6 sheds, which is 12,000 birds. And just from our own free-range philosophy, we want to be as green as possible. So solar power, it's a much more reliable source of power. So we bought the sea container second-hand just locally, but the solar system itself, that was $45,000 for all the panels, batteries and inverter and everything else that comes with it. Technology's moved on and the solar panels are more efficient. So the first solar power powers 3 sheds, whereas this last one does 6. So cost per bird, it's actually less to set up now than the original unit. The very first one that we did was experimental again for us, just with a standalone unit powering sheds that we designed. But from that, we got confidence to sort of do another one. And then we just used the same supplier for the previous one. They sort of worked out from the amount of power that we needed for each shed, because the feed system, the egg collection, doors, they've all got certain size motors that run for certain times, so they could calculate how many panels that we needed. So again, it's out of my area of knowledge, but you rely on people that do know what they're doing to advise you on what you need.